at any level, I keep saying, even if it's at the channel's National Kids Cup, when it's Nigeria, Ghana, I take it very seriously. Dodgy, I listened to Florence Omagbemi this morning, and she's saying she won't comment on the officiating, you know, because, I mean, this team has all it takes to have gone on to beat Ghana. Take your chances, kill it off, you know, so that you don't, to avoid stories that.
That's the incident we're talking about.
This is a very clear penalty, no doubt. But I remember, Cecilia, we always say that you can't take away the human angle in officiating.
Okay.
You're watching this on TV. There's a rush of blood to the brain. The game is about to end. Look at the lineswoman that is supposed to raise her flag. She didn't raise her flag. So everybody now starts blaming the central referee. It has happened too bad. Let's see what they can do against Kenya.
Yeah, that's it, because they actually need to do that. Now, we'll take a quote coming from Florence Omagbemi after that game. What she said, she just didn't want to comment at all on the officiating. Our focus is obviously on the game against Kenya. She says the game was great and both teams played well. Ghana gave us a good match and it was an impressive game. The foul on Asisa Tushola was a clear penalty in my own assessment. I was disappointed in the referee not making the call. I'm looking forward to the game with Kenya and get a good result out of that game. That's what she's concerned about.
I mean, yeah, surely they have to move on now. I mean, there's not a lot of time to waste anymore. 4 points now for Nigeria and Ghana. So they get to play Kenya in the next game. Joseph, Nigeria, Kenya.
Well, you see, I think we were carried away by the 6-0 victory against Mali, forgetting that Mali were debutants in this competition. Don't forget the same squad failed to qualify for the Olympics. We forgot that there were loopholes in that team. And I think the game against Ghana should be an eye-opener going into the game against Kenya for me. I think forget about Ghana. They didn't give us that spectacular performance that they did against Kenya. I think we didn't take our chances and it cost us in that one. So if we can work on that, I think we'll get the job done against Kenya. You expect the Super Falcons to get the maximum 3 points against Kenya, but it goes beyond that, because when we get to the knockout stages, you see teams have grown through the ranks. It's not about the Super Falcons. Forget they've won 7 titles. If we get to the quarterfinals, we'll face a tougher opponent, and it might cost us. So they must fix those loopholes for us to move forward.
Okay, we'll just take a look at the fixtures for yesterday. Not only Super Falcons were in action, you have Kenya and Ghana. Kenya and of course the other opponent, they all were in action, but another one is Kenya losing again by 3-1. So 2 games they played losing, more like they're out. There's no hope for them. But for the Super Falcons, they know what they have to do to actually get a good victory. Mali and Kenya 3-1 ended. Nigeria and Ghana 1-1. That was how that game ended. And for fixtures for today, fixtures for Saturday, Mali and Ghana and Kenya and Nigeria. That's going to be Nigeria's last group game. They know they have to win this. Don't take a chance, don't draw, so that at least we can convincingly top the group. And you know, Cameroon already through to the semi-finals. They just didn't waste time, win their first 2 games convincingly, and they're not really convincingly, but then they got that 3 point. That was what was
they got the job done. They got the job done. I mean, that's what matters in group round robin situations like this.
Cecilia, and it's not just about coming out, beat Kenya maybe 7-0, and then we start saying, oh, Desire Paranoze was outstanding, Asisa Shola was outstanding. We should say a team played convincingly, won as a team, so that the next team that is watching you will be like, we don't need to just take out only Asisat. You could tell that against the Ghanaians, a lot of pressure came on Asisat.
And even Francisca Odega too.
She was just because those are actually the people that shone like a million stars in the game against Kenya. So it's simple. A coach just tells you, cut out this lady, and then disorientate their plan. So I think our coaches should start learning out. The days of the Super Falcons where they were respected because they were a team.
You didn't have
a team that when they come out, they're coming to win well. So I think we should take away individual brilliance, beat Kenya as a team, and then proceed from there.
Maybe another thing is maybe Aziza doesn't have to play as a lone striker up front. Maybe she does well when she plays from the flanks. Maybe Desire Paranoze can actually top strike, and so that the pressure will be off her.
Well, if you watched that game yesterday, you notice that Asisa played more from the flanks. And I think for the coach Florence Omagbemi, great coach, no doubt about it, played football to the highest level, but in terms of player selection, got it wrong yesterday.
Okay, what could she have done differently?
But I think the likes of Francisca Odega well experienced. Going against Ghana, the most difficult team in that group, you need your best leg. So putting Francisca Odega on the bench, and one thing I noticed in the game against Mali,
Desire Paranoze,
I beg your pardon. I mean, the first game against Mali, you look at Uchechi Sunday for me, had some real chances. I felt should have been, put on the bench, but she started yesterday, which also cost us. Had some couple of mistakes there that cost the team.
Ngozi Okobi too also started from the bench. Okay, maybe in the next game, We didn't. Maybe the next game. You know what? We'll go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll talk about the Champions League. I think enough of the Super Falcons. Just look forward to what they're going to do on Saturday.
For Carl, Ngacho's. Oh, it's a great header. But then Ganamio's can't keep it down. Rosengard player. And going back. A bit too much pressure there. Long range effort. Ooh. Seriously ugly effort there. But still managed to have the ball. Ajawa. Up against Smida. Good cross coming in. Oh, that's nearly in from Nganamuit. And it goes in. Finally the goal has been scored. Well, there it is. It's Ngo and Belek. And the fans are jumping with joy. Well, they just produced wave after wave of attack. And look at these scenes. Cameroon finally get their goal. We'll have a look at this again. Great play over on that left-hand side. The goalkeeper's down. There's the clearance. And a slick volley there in the penalty area. A fine finish indeed from Golden Belek. The referee blows the full-time whistle there. Cameroon have made it 2 out of 2 in Yaoundé. A great performance. Well, they've just out-muscled this South African side. Very physical indeed. You can see that Ngamuit is back up on her feet. Slightly disappointing for Desiree Ellis to concede a goal so late on. But you need to acknowledge that the Lionesses, well, they're going to be a difficult team to beat in the latter stages of the competition.
Take a look at some of the results from the UEFA Champions League, and Joseph Atewe actually mentioned Arsenal from the very beginning, and well, this may cost them a 2-2 draw against PSG. And Tyre, the other ones?
2-2 against PSG. Joseph, I think you agree that Edson Cavani was the man of the match for Arsenal in that game. Because he had great chances. Before I get you talking, let's go through the other results. Guys, let's go through the other results. Ludogorets 0-0 against Basel. Right. Besiktas incredible comeback against Benfica. They were down 3-0, came back in at 3-3. Napoli against Dynamo Kyiv. That ended goalless. Borussia Mönchengladbach against Man City 1-1. Man City are not really, firing on all cylinders at the moment. Celtic against Barcelona 2-0. Lionel Messi with 2 goals in that one. I mean, that guy is what a player he is. I mean, Rostov 3-2 over Bayern Munich. That's the greatest ever in the history of the Russian side. And Atletico Madrid 2-0 over PSV Eindhoven. Austin, Joseph, let's talk about the Arsenal match. This match, was about who's going to top that particular group. At the end of the day, ended 2-2, and PSG are in the driving seats. I mean, what happened to Arsenal, in that game?
Well, to be honest with you, I think Paris Saint-Germain in both legs were the better side, no doubt about that. I think Arsenal's they've got to start showing some character in other games, just like Spurs and Manchester United's game. I think for Arsenal, they didn't start well, and that cost them in that game for me. You see the difference between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid has got a lot of average players who are ready to fight. The likes of Gabi and Thiago were not known some years back, but today they're forced to reckon with. So you must look at it and say Arsenal needs to bring in that fighting spirit. They've been tagged as strugglers when it comes to the month of November, but you need to change that. And how do you do that? Bring in so much intensity into games. Fight for goals for me as far as I'm concerned. And yes, I think miscommunication between the defenders and the goalkeepers also cost Arsenal in that one. The goal they got was a comedy goal for me. They really didn't show us that fighting spirit. So for me, I don't think Arsenal is ready to compete for the UEFA Champions League. They need to prove us wrong and stop wasting slots.
Okay, Joseph, Austin, but you can also argue that Arsenal, the past 2 games against Manchester United, against PSG, they haven't played well, but they've gotten something out of the game.
That's right.
So that's character too, right?
That's character, but that's in the English Premier League. In the UEFA Champions League, where you need much more character, they're not showing that. I think Arsenal are just comfortable lately with just finishing as runners-up in their group, and then go play in the second phase with a bigger team,
like Barcelona.
and then let's understand that. I think what Wenger needs to do is get a good psychologist, sit with these players and say, this is the Arsenal.
Okay.
We should start playing as champions. This is a club that has got a rich history, that has gone a complete season unbeaten. I think there's just something missing about this Arsenal team when you expect them to deliver, and
They
then they
just
just
don't deliver.
don't
Okay,
deliver.
you know what? Let's listen to Arsene Wenger himself reacting to that game against PSG.
We were committed, full periods, dominant, but the start of the game was in favor of Paris Saint-Germain because I think we let them play too comfortably. After in the last 20 minutes in the first half, we pushed up and came back to 1-1. We had a very strong start again in the second half where we were dominant until it was 2-1 and after we dropped off. And didn't maintain the pressure, and we paid for that. It's frustrating because we scored an own goal, basically, on the ball where we thought it was a goal kick. It's a 2-2. It's, of course, disappointing because we were 2-1 up, but we played against a good team with top technical quality, and that's it. Look, I think there's a special spirit in the squad, and the consistency of the results. We are unbeaten for 18 games, and sometimes you go through a spell when you have such a long momentum where we win a bit less. It's down to us to continue without losing a game, but as well to transform the draws now into wins. But we have no reason to panic. We have to.
Okay, definitely. Pastor Wenger there has got reasons for everything else because he's happy with
But
his
there's still
okay.
a chance to top that group,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
What are they gonna do?
It's difficult because PSG
right.
play at home against Ludogorets. Expect them to win that one after
right.
travel to Switzerland to play Basel.
Need that draw or give it away. That way, right? Big ups to Alex will be in that, that one.
Big ups.
Yeah, big ups.
Unfortunate on goal.
But it's okay.
But you
Yeah,
see,
unfortunately.
going into March the 6th, I think for Arsenal they've got a slim chance because going to Barcelona, let's not forget, no Switzerland team has ever defeated an English team. So you look at it and say they've got a victory record against this team, so they might get the maximum points there. And for Ludogorets, who played out a goalless draw against Barcelona yesterday, they want to go to the Europa League, so they would give Paris Saint-Germain a run for their money. But with the caliber of players Paris Saint-Germain has got, you expect them to get the maximum 3 points. But as they say in football, anything can happen, so let's wait and see.
Especially with Rostov, with that, I won't say anything anymore.
So happens when fans, when their teams don't win, they start the permutation and say this such a big goal. Just go on and win. But let's give Rostov some mention.
Shout out
Beating
to
Bayern
Rostov.
Munich is just massive, and this does a
Historically.
lot. Yeah, this does a lot. What was the team from Kazakhstan, FC Astana, when they also came last year? So it's good to see these other teams come into the Champions League and then play the big guys. But the clock is ticking for Carlo Ancelotti because if he doesn't beat Bayer Leverkusen in their next game and then Borussia